Hey everybody, happy Friday the 13th. I am Bonnie Stewart Richland with Project Grad. We're here with Meredith Melville. We're going to talk about the new show opening on Tuesday, y'all. Our last show of the season. Well, no, that's not true. We have 40-minute plays and we have dance demo too. We'll talk about those later. This is our big comedy of the season. I'm so excited. Thank you for sitting down with us.
Of course. I'm super happy to be here.
So, we're getting close. Are you excited?
Yeah. We are adding we just had costumes last night, which looked phenomenal. All I'm going to tell you to get you excited is purple zoot suit. That's it. That's all you get. So come and see the rest. Our costume department has done an awesome job.
They're so good.
And of course, yeah, and a bunch of custom-made dresses. It's set in 1963.
Okay.
So we had super fun with the 60s. And so there's a lot of suits, a lot of color. It's beautiful hats. I shoes. Just wait. It's so much fun. And then, of course, before that, we were adding the technical elements. Our lights are fun. We're using some new fun LEDs. I'm not going to tell you where. You have to come see it. But it's a lot of fun, and we've just had a blast because it's a comedy. And so we're just laughing and playing, and we want you to come and laugh and play with us.
So tell us a little bit about this, because I looked it up, and it was a James Corden show. He was the lead in it in like early 2000 or 20, what was it, 2008, 2010?
Yes,
something?
And it started at the National Theatre in London.
Okay.
And the director approached him and knew that he wanted James Corden in it before they started production.
Oh,
so
wow.
James has been there since the beginning. James and I. James.
You know James.
You know James Corden.
No big deal.
Okay, so
Tony winner.
when he invites me into his car to sing, I'm just saying I've got my list.
That's like my dream. Right?
We should do that here at TAMU-CC, but like in a
We
boat,
should.
right? So
Next year.
that's right. I got a million of them. Okay, no, I'm kidding. But James Corden, so they started there in London, and it was wildly successful. It was super British, so they updated it and took it to Broadway, and they added a little song and some cool 60s skiffle, which is like if blues and jazz and rock created their own like brainchild, this would be it. So it's got like washboard and spoons, but it's also got electric guitar and like people banging on boxes and garbage cans. It's wild. So it's a lot of fun. So we did that, and that's kind of where we started. But in that show, they had a band play with them, and we won't have a band, but you can't avoid the music for other reasons too, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, in a second with Commedia. But it was a lot of fun. So then he goes to Broadway and he wins lead actor in a play. For One Man, Two Guvnor, and they updated it, added this music, and made it just a little more American. But it did quite well, and now, it's happening regionally and right here.
It's amazing, y'all. When I was doing research for it, there's so much physical comedy, which I'm super excited about. And I'm kind of curious, like, what is your process with the students when they're learning this physical comedy? Are they all pretty experienced? Are they learning? It's probably a mix.
It is. It's a good mix. We have cast everywhere. Well, I guess I have cast everywhere from freshmen to seniors. So it's a wide mix of students, age-wise, and experience. But they've all really risen to the challenge. And a lot of our students, because we do a Janumester in stage combat where they can actually get certified, are really good with physical combat, which is a big piece of the show because they've taken that. And one of our students, Hayden McClellan, who's actually a student here, is my fight choreographer. So he got with me and we talked about how to make fights funny versus serious and scary, and he did all the fight choreography. And then there's a lot of falls, and my lead has some experience in just kind of tumbling and stuff, and Hayden has done gymnastics, so we kind of brought all that in together to create a safe
I was going to say kind of a safe way to fall. I was reading that James Corden suffered all of these injuries when he was rehearsing and through.
So we made sure we had pads in place on chairs that are hidden in very safe ways, and we made sure that we practiced it. It's a lot of practice in an organized comedy like this, I'm sure you know. It's all about the timing for the comedy, but also about the safety. So every time we do it, we're always crossing this way. It's always on this account, and it's almost like a dance. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very fun, and the students did a great job with it. They listened and supported, and of course, just worked on it until we were blue in the face.
Well, the students are so passionate about these things, like, they do such a good
and they do
job.
great. So I hope that you'll see all that fun stuff.
So the premise is, the main character is Francis, and he has two bosses, and I don't want to give too much away. He's got two bosses, and one's a little shady, and then one's maybe not the smartest person in the world. And he doesn't want them to know about the other one, but then there's like all these little things going on. And so that's the general premise.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then we're going to add some music, and then they're going to add some comedy, and there's one scene that I'm hoping is in this play too, where he's just by himself, and he just like causes this whole thing. And it's so funny.
It's there. And our lead is all over the place. He's all on the floor. He's falling constantly. He's, singing and dancing, and it's going to be fun. And then there's some big fight scenes, which are just crazy and fun. And it's based on Commedia dell'arte, which, if you don't know, it started at the turn of the 1700s in Italy. Maybe a little bit before that, actually. But in mid-1700s, Carlo Goldoni wrote down this premise and turned it into a play. And it originally was called A Servant of Two Masters. And then Richard Bean, when they did it at NT, or the National Theatre, he updated it and moved it to Brighton, England in 1963, but he keeps a lot of that. So like there's these stock characters like the Harlequin, who's like, when we think of the silly, goofy guy in the checkered outfit, that's the Harlequin.
Oh, how funny.
And so these stock characters are there, and we kind of pull from that background as we build this.
So why'd you pick this one? What's about it?
Well, I think I love stock characters, and I'm an improviser, so I teach improv 1 and 2 here, and this piece is really cool because it's mostly scripted, but there's about 5 places in the script that are completely improvised.
Oh,
so it's really cool because in Commedia, they would take this premise, okay, we're going to meet on the street, and we're going to do this and that, and then they'd improvise the whole thing. And that's essentially what the script gave us in these 5 places. So there's some places where, if you're scared of being a volunteer, maybe don't raise your hand. But there's some places where we will call on some folks. I don't want to give too much away. I'm not going to tell you when or why or what's happening. But it's very interactive. It's super fun. And I think those are the elements from Commedia that he pulls from. And he does it very well. So the script itself was just brilliant. And as an improviser, I was drooling at the chance to mix a script with some improv.
Well, and how many opportunities as like an actor do you get to do that on stage, where you like have a moment to like go? So that means you could see like a little bit of a varied show by night, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so each night will be slightly different, and there's certain lines that will change each night. Won't tell you which ones. So if you want to see it twice, you're guaranteed to see a different show every time.
That is so cool. We are super excited. Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
I appreciate it.
It opens again, y'all, on Tuesday. It's running through Sunday. Tuesday through Saturday showings are 7:30 at night. Sunday is 2 o'clock. If you pay cash at the door with your sand dollar, tickets are $5, or you can pay for them online for $7, $10 for everybody else. Students are the only ones who get the deals. And coming up, we do have a dance demo is on April 25th. We'll have some more information for y'all on that. And then they are going to round out the season with a 40-minute play festival. They do this every year. It's so cool and really interesting. Y'all check it out May 2nd through the 6th. Thank y'all so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Y'all come out and see the show, and have a good weekend.
Bye.